Sometimes history doesn't need words to be told. A single photo can say everything. As the old saying goes, a picture is worth a million words, and these historical photos, they're worth a million emotions, thoughts, and questions that can't be put into words. In this video, we're going to explore some of the most haunting, beautiful, and unforgettable images from our past that truly leave a mark. So, sit back, relax, and let's uncover the unspoken stories behind the lens. Number 1. The world's first gym machine. We all know that staying fit is crucial, but have you ever wondered what the first gym machine looked like? Believe it or not, the first gym machine was created in 1892 by Dr. Gustav Zander. The Swedish physician and gymnastics teacher noticed that he couldn't properly instruct all of his students, so he came up with a solution, a set of wooden machines equipped with weights, levers, and springs to provide resistance training. In a time when exercise often meant manual labor, Zander's machines transformed the concept of working out. Each device was designed to target different muscles and imitate natural movements, from rowing to stair climbing. His vision was simple yet revolutionary: make fitness more accessible and guided, even for those who weren't athletes. Soon, Zander opened the first institute in Stockholm, where people came not just to build strength, but to recover from injuries and improve posture. By the early 20th century, Zander institutes spread around the world, and the idea of a so-called modern gym was born. Number 2. Baby cages. City apartments, as many people know, can be small and stuffy. And speaking of fresh air, it's practically a dream in the city that never sleeps. But would you allow your baby to be held in a cage suspended outside your apartment building to catch some of that elusive fresh breeze? In the 1920s, some parents did just that. They put their toddlers in wire baby cages attached to the outside of apartment windows, giving them an outdoor experience from several stories high. The unusual idea wasn't as reckless as it seems, at least not back then. The trend was born from advice by Dr. Luther Emmett Holt, a prominent physician who insisted fresh air toughened babies, making them healthier and less prone to colds. For families in cramped city spaces, the baby cage seemed like a brilliant hack, letting kids air out while parents do their daily tasks. But as they say, hindsight is 20/20. Looking back now, the baby cage feels more like a strange, risky leap of faith than a health hack. Now, this practice is over, and let's hope it remains that way. Number 3. The Utal people going to wedding. Imagine gliding across a calm river with your whole community in tow, all for the joy of witnessing a sacred union. In 1914, the Utal people of British Columbia captured the spirit of celebration in a way only they could, on water, surrounded by tradition. In this photo, 2 canoes hold the wedding party of the Utal people, one of the Kwakwaka'wakw clans. At the back of the lead canoe, the bride and groom stand on the special bride's seat, a raised place that honors their commitment. Up front, a relative of the bride dances on a small platform. He blessed the beautiful journey with movements that connect the couple to their ancestors. For the Utal, this wasn't just a wedding. It was a powerful display of community, tradition, and art. The canoe wasn't just a vessel, but a symbol of unity, carrying generations of stories across the water. The rhythmic paddles, the dancing figure, and the solemn couple all tell of a love woven into the fabric of culture. As the canoes glide forward, they carry not just a bride and groom, but the collective spirit of a people, leaving an indelible mark on anyone who witnesses this ancient celebration. Number 4. Lon Chaney clowns might be known for laughs, but Lon Chaney in He Who Gets Slapped is something else entirely. Chainy plays Paul Beaumont, a scientist betrayed in the worst ways, his work stolen, his wife unfaithful. His solution? He becomes a circus clown, but not the happy kind. In his act, he stands in front of a jeering crowd, getting slapped over and over as the audience roars with laughter. It's funny to them, but for him, it's raw pain on display. Chainy's portrayal makes it clear. Under the makeup, Paul is a broken man, far from the clownish image he presents. You feel his despair in every slap, making the laughter around him feel strangely dark. This wasn't just any silent film. It dug into the idea of public humiliation as entertainment, showing how people love a spectacle even if someone's suffering is behind it. With He Who Gets Slapped, Chainy turned a tragic role into something haunting. It's easy to watch but hard to forget, and it left audiences questioning why they laugh at another person's pain. As they say, trust takes years to build, seconds to shatter, and forever to rebuild. For Paul, that trust was broken beyond repair. Number 5. Deputy Cemia Hurt, arrest Rainey Allen. There are countless photos that capture a moment of justice served, and this one speaks a very deep meaning. In October 1945, Deputy Sheriff Cemia Hurt stood beside 25-year-old Rainey Allen, a 4-foot-tall man wanted for murder, as they prepared to board a bus back to Beattyville, Kentucky. In this image, Deputy Hurt's presence is as commanding as it is calm, a stark reminder of the bravery law enforcement officers show daily. Standing by Allen, she appears unwavering, embodying the resolve of those who uphold the law no matter the danger. This photo isn't just a mere snapshot. It's a testament to the strength and resilience of women in law enforcement long before it became common. Hurt's stance shows us that courage knows no bounds, neither of gender nor place. It's a moment that reminds us how, in the pursuit of justice, the strength of character can be just as formidable as any badge or uniform. Number 6. Lunch atop a skyscraper. Unknown, 1932. Sometimes it's easy to forget how much courage lay behind the gleaming facades of our cities. This iconic 1932 photo, taken on a steel beam high above New York City, captures 11 construction workers casually having lunch, their legs dangling precariously over the city below. Though it makes your stomach drop, it also highlights the daily reality for those who built America's skyscrapers during the height of the Great Depression. These men, who are mostly immigrants, often worked without safety harnesses, risking everything for a paycheck. This was a time when steel beams meant steady work, and workers put their lives on the line for wages that could barely sustain them. Although the photographer's story remains unknown, the shot resonates with viewers to this day, symbolizing both the bravery and the vulnerability of laborers who shaped modern cityscapes. It's not just a lunch break. It's a tribute to the grit of workers who took these life-threatening risks to create the skylines that define cities around the world. Number 7. Gandhi and the spinning wheel. Gandhi is one of the world's most enduring symbols of peace and resilience, and this iconic photo by Margaret Bourke-White captures the simplicity of his revolutionary spirit. Taken 2 years before his death, the photograph shows Gandhi seated beside a spinning wheel, or charkha, which he used to promote India's self-reliance by producing homespun cloth. The image, later published in Life magazine, became symbolic of Gandhi's mission to empower India through self-sufficiency, countering colonial exploitation by returning to the basics of life. Bourke-White's photograph has layers beyond just Gandhi at his wheel. It represents a movement for independence, resilience, and non-violence. After Gandhi's assassination in 1948, this photograph, along with many others she took of him, became priceless relics, valued not only as art, but as pieces of history. This simple yet powerful image of Gandhi continues to inspire, reminding us that true strength lies not in might, but in unwavering principles and quiet resistance. Number 8. Sir Malcolm Campbell and Bluebird. What if speed were a legacy? Sir Malcolm Campbell, born in 1885, embraced this question with his life. Known as the Speed King, Campbell was captivated by motorbikes and cars from a young age, racing motorbikes in the early 1900s and eventually transitioning to cars at the famed Brooklyn circuit. His obsession with speed wasn't just a hobby, it became his mission. Campbell's dedication culminated in his famous Bluebird series of vehicles, named after the symbol of speed and freedom. He pushed these cars and boats to their limits, setting numerous world records along the way. In 1935, he reached 301.337 miles per hour at Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah, making him the first person to break 300 miles per hour on land. Knighted in 1931, Campbell's relentless pursuit of speed and innovation left an indelible mark on motorsports. His daring achievements led to awards like the Seagrave Trophy and posthumous induction into the Motorsports Hall of Fame. Sir Malcolm Campbell's legacy lives on, not only in his accomplishments but also in the family tradition he began, a quest for speed that inspired future generations, including his son. Number 9. Tank Man, Jeff Widner, 1989. During the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests, one photograph captured the world's attention and symbolized the power of individual resistance. Taken by Jeff Widner, this now iconic image shows a young man standing defiantly in front of a line of advancing tanks, his figure small yet unyielding against a symbol of military might. Widner, who had been injured during the protests, defied advice to stay in his hotel, positioning himself at a window with a borrowed roll of film. With that single shot, he encapsulated the courage of an anonymous hero against an overwhelming force. Dubbed Tank Man, the image circulated globally, illustrating the struggle for democracy and human rights in China. This powerful moment went on to become one of the most recognized photographs in modern history, earning Widner a Pulitzer Prize nomination. Tank Man's quiet courage became an emblem of hope, embodying how a single unarmed person could momentarily halt the machinery of repression, showing the world that sometimes peaceful resistance is the ultimate act of bravery. Number 10. Execution by cannon. The invention of the cannon in the 12th century didn't just change the battlefield, it transformed punishment. Soon, it became a deadly tool for punishment. Blowing from a gun was a brutal act where a person was tied directly to the cannon's mouth. A single blast was enough to end them instantly, scattering their remains in every direction. In 1890, in Shiraz, Iran, this sentence was used on a condemned thief. This gruesome act was meant to make an example, a visual warning to anyone considering a life of crime. Tied firmly to the cannon, his fate was set. The blast would not just end his life but erase him entirely, scattering every trace of him into the air. Witnesses, horrified, could see the power of the punishment, its finality, its reach. Blowing from a gun wasn't exclusive to Shiraz. Its use stretches across continents. From the Mughals in the Indian subcontinent to British forces during the 1857 uprisings and even the Portuguese Empire, this was a punishment intended to make a chilling statement. But in each instance, it served as a demonstration of absolute power, an unyielding declaration that rebellion or disobedience would not be tolerated. The message was clear: defy authority, and you'll face a fate that leaves nothing behind. Number 11. The 1928 London flood. Well, we all know that global weather events today have huge impacts, but back in 1928, London experienced a shock when the Thames River turned from a calm river to a catastrophic force. On January 6th, heavy snowmelt, high tides, and a fierce North Sea storm caused the river to surge over its banks, flooding London's streets in the dead of night. The result? Chaos. Low-lying neighborhoods, especially the city's poorer areas, faced complete inundation, leaving thousands homeless and causing 14 tragic deaths. Beyond the immediate devastation, the flood reshaped London's approach to natural disasters. The city sought answers, sparking discussions that led to modern storm surge modeling. largely thanks to Dr. Arthur Dudson and his term storm surge. His team's research at the Liverpool Tidal Institute paved the way for future flood prevention. Today, the legacy of the 1928 flood lives on in the latest forecasting systems. Number 12. 1st century BCE Roman shipwreck. In 1980, a fascinating piece of ancient history resurfaced unexpectedly in Comacchio, northern Italy, a Roman shipwreck dating back to 1 BCE. Found during maintenance work on a drainage canal, the remarkably preserved vessel opened a window into Roman seafaring life. Laden with amphorae, coins, and everyday tools, the ship was like a time capsule of Roman trade and culture. Each artifact, still intact after 2 millennia, tells a story of the ancient world, from bustling Mediterranean trade routes to the craftsmanship that kept the vessel seaworthy. This remarkable find remains one of Italy's most treasured archaeological discoveries. These are just a few examples of the countless moments in history captured on film, each telling a story that goes beyond words. These images reveal the beauty, bravery, and sometimes brutality of the human experience. They connect us to people, traditions, and events long gone, making the past feel alive, if only for a moment. The stories behind these photos may not be written in books, but they live on in the images themselves, each one leaving a lasting impact that resonates across generations. We hope this video has given you a new perspective on these remarkable moments that shaped history. And if you find it interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content just like this.